Mr. President, I thank Mr. Koh Hui-kwan for moving this motion. However, when Mr. Kwok spoke, he said he was disappointed because none of the secretaries are here. But we're actually talking to the central authorities and the candidates. It doesn't matter that the secretaries are not here. I hope that the central authority and the prospective candidates will listen to what we say. January 2017 is the watershed of Hong Kong's governance. When we reach a watershed, we need to get rid of something. We have to build something. We have to get rid of the CY Leung governance, and we have to build a good system for good governance. First, let me talk about CY Leung's line. But today is the 11th of January. A month ago, 11th of December, was the election of the election committee. The turnout rate increased from 27% to 46%, which is a nice surprise. Last year, the Democrats won 200 seats or so. This year, 300 or so. And it has sent out two very strong and important messages. First, people are tired of CY Leung's governance, and they attach a lot of importance to this CE election. People may not be happy with the small circle election, but people are pragmatic. They want the Democrats to get a seat in order to influence the result of the CE election. If we are to rationally conclude what CY Leung's governance is, we will be able to get very important messages. We can see what people expect of the next chief executive. There is an author, Leung Man-do. He talked about CY Leung's philosophy. He only uses people he likes. As a result, he has this friend or foe mentality, so as a result, there is nepotism. Two, he tries to create crisis all the time so that they will become opportunities for him to establish himself as someone who is able. It is quite puzzling why CY Leung would take this line, because society pays for what he does, and his popularity rating suffers. We will have to ask, are there any objective factors resulting in this result? Any system, any situation that results in this? CY Leung obtained support from the liaison office. He was supported, and is supported by the liaison office. CY Leung could exclude people he doesn't like because he obtained his mandate from a small circle election and from the alliance he formed with the liaison office. Previous chief executive would attach importance to public opinion, but this time CY Leung completely disregard public opinion. We have to get rid of this line of CY Leung, the line that CY Leung takes. We have to learn from experience. We have to establish good practice and good system. I don't want to dwell on what CY Leung has done because it's a thing of the past, but we have to bear this in mind in order to build a better future. I would like to use Wang Guangya's words and also the views expressed by Democracy 300 Plus, and what they expect of the next chief executive. Wang Guangya expressed the standard of the chief executive. In publication Bohemia, he said that the chief executive, he spoke about the next chief executive. He said the chief executive represents Hong Kong and the central authorities. The central authorities will have to appoint the chief executive. Central authorities, just like Hong Kong people, have expectations of the chief executive. He made it very clear. Any candidates will have to fully understand the duty of chief executive, the requirement of the central authorities, and the expectations of Hong Kong people. And he talked about being patriotic, love Hong Kong, and being respected by Hong Kong people, and trusted by Hong Kong people, respected and trusted by central authorities. And the chief executive should accurately reflect Hong Kong's situation to the central authorities, and will have to explain central authorities' policy and implement them in accordance with the law. And he said the central authorities will observe the CE candidates. CE candidates should bear in mind Hong Kong's long-term interest and explain to Hong Kong people their philosophy, and to consolidate, to unite Hong Kong people and take Hong Kong people forward. And I think what Mr. Wang Guangya said is something is a new direction after learning the bitter lesson of C.Y. Leung. The chief executive should attach importance to Hong Kong people's demand, should feel the pulse of Hong Kong people and Hong Kong people's sentiment, and is able to unite Hong Kong people and the Democrats. Well, the Democracy 300 Plus proposed 3 standards. They do not support C.Y. Leung or his line, and it should not be restricted by the 2014 August NPSC decision. And the next chief executive should safeguard Hong Kong people's core values. And we also want the next chief executive to make progress with our democratization. So the words of Mr. Wang Guangya and the stance of Democracy 300 Plus, can they be compatible? I don't see any conflicts. If central authorities fully understand and respect what Hong Kong people want, the ideal chief executive would take into account the next chief executive should understand Hong Kong people and what Hong Kong people want, and would continue to develop democracy apart from getting the trust of the central authorities. So the next chief executive should take Hong Kong forward and safeguard our core values apart from taking our democratization forward. The next chief executive should at least be accepted by the Pan-Democrats. If he or she is supported, the better. Recently, Hong Kong people are scared because more people want to go. The main reason is that under the one country, the two systems, especially the Hong Kong system, it has been suppressed. Under C.Y. Leung's governance, when it comes to freedom, corruption, freedom of speech, and freedom of the press, and academic freedom, they have been undermined. We need two systems. What is the original intention of the two systems? Because under one country, Hong Kong's lifestyle and systems would be preserved. So we expect the next chief executive to safeguard one country and allow two systems to flourish. And what one country will bring is the full demonstration of the effectiveness of two systems. I believe that the result of the election committee shows us that albeit there is no ideal election system, we want this to be a genuine system, not one that is manipulated by the liaison office. The candidates should get the acceptance of the central authorities and that of Hong Kong people, and they should need to get support from the Pan-Democrats and the pro-government in order to fulfill the requirements set out by Mr. Wang Guangya. And only in this way can we have this, that central authorities is the boss, so are Hong Kong people, and this will be the ideal candidate.